Hi, everyone. Welcome to the call that we're doing today. I would love to introduce you to Sarah. Sarah Bowen Lewis is a leader on our team. My name is Jana Garcia, and welcome to the call we're going to do for you today. This may be one of the first videos that you see after you sign up on our Plexus team, and we wanted to do a video to help you get started. And if you're a leader, to also help get your team started when you start signing up a team. So I've got Sarah on the call with me today, and she's going to help me run through some of the stuff that she does when she first signs up an ambassador on her team. And I'm really interested to hear what Sarah has to say, because Sarah is one of the top leaders on our team, and she has a lot of experience signing up new people. And so, Sarah, how many people do you have as level ones?
As level ones, I've got 24.
Awesome. So 24 times you've had the experience to sign somebody up and to help them get started with their business.
Right.
So you've been through this a lot. You know what you're doing. And so we want to hear from you as to what you do as soon as somebody starts out, because we all know the first things you do is really important to help somebody get their business started.
Really is.
So Sarah has created a slideshow for us. And I'm going to ask her questions throughout the call, and she's going to share with us some of the stuff that she does to help someone be successful. So you can take from this, and whether you're a new ambassador or whether you're a leader helping new ambassadors, you can take the information that you learned from this training call and you can apply it to your own team or to your own personal business. So, Sarah, what is the first thing you do when somebody signs up on your team? What are the first things that you do with them, like, as soon as possible, right after they sign up?
Well, let me go ahead and start my slideshow so I can show you some of the things that I do.
Okay.
One of the first things that I try to do is ask each person what their why is. Why do you want to have a Plexus business? Is it to help people? Is it to get healthy for yourself? Is it to make money? Is it to be a stay-at-home mom? Is it to help support your family? Do you want to start a team? What is your why? And I want them to tell me their why. We'll go through the reasons for their why and actually write it down and create their first goal for becoming an ambassador and getting that goal written down. And if you don't write it down, it kind of gets lost in there and you don't go back to it. But if you have it written down, it really helps to keep you motivated for moving forward.
Okay. So when you're having a conversation with somebody right after they start, what kind of things do you talk to them on the phone, or do you message them? What kind of communication do you usually have with somebody?
Well, kind of all of the above. It's really dependent upon what they prefer. Some people are talkers. I like to talk on the phone and get them going, and really you get a lot of for what they are wanting to do by actually hearing their voice, because it's kind of hard when you're doing it through the computer to kind of gauge exactly what someone's trying to do. But when you talk to them, you really get that connection and figure out what their why is, what they want to do, what their goals are. And you can really just kind of fish around for more questions and really figure out, you can almost tell how people are going to do as soon as they get on the phone with you. If they're excited and energized, you want to capture that and pull that why in and get it going and get them motivated to get started. And so after I help them with their why, I help them through the process to get signed up on the website and then start training them with some of the training tools that we have through your awesome Rockin' Group.
Thanks. And everybody's why is so individualized. And I'm sure after 24 people, you have come across so many different experiences. And also, people's why can change. And I know a lot of times people will sign up on our teams thinking that they're buying a lot of product, or they're planning on buying a lot of product for their family, or they want the discount, or they want just a few customers. And then when they come on and they see the opportunity with Plexus and how much you can actually make and how much you can do with this business, their why sometimes changes and their goals change. But it's very important to figure out why somebody is signing up so they can remember that, and it can motivate them throughout their time with the business.
Exactly. I can't tell you how many people on my team started out by saying, well, I just want to get the products at wholesale price, and that's why I'm signing up. I'm not a salesperson. I don't think that I really want to do this or show my friends or whatever. And then as soon as they see what it's doing for themselves, you're right, it completely changes their why. Now they're like, wow, look at this. Look at what it's helping me, my family, my mother, whomever they've introduced it to. And then they just want to be like me and be kind of sassy and crazy and share it with everybody.
Right. And there are some people that once they come on and see the potential, they decide they want to retire. They decide that they want to use this as a full-time income earner. And they see that that's possible with Plexus. They may want to work part-time. They may want to stay home with their kids. They may want to quit their job completely, and that's their goal. So people's goals can change, their why can change, and we're here to help people do that and make those decisions. So what is your next slide?
This is about how I'm going to help those people, or how they're going to help themselves, how we're all going to work together to get them to their first goal. And when you're signing someone, you're their upline, and you want to be instrumental in really helping them figure out how to get to that goal. You want to show them how we do it. You want to show them what the Rockin' team has developed as far as developing closed Facebook groups. And it's really been a unique tool, I think, for our team, especially as I've gone to convention and leaders retreat and the Silver Stars trip and talked to other leaders. Our team is very unique. This closed Facebook group really, really helps share without overloading people on your personal wall about the products. And it doesn't become so much of a sales, it becomes sharing.
Right. And a lot of people aren't familiar with customer groups. They may have been in, the person that sponsored them on, they might have been in their customer group, but that's all they've seen. Or they may have not been in any customer group before. And so customer group is basically just a group that you add all your family and friends to. We suggest that you add everyone that is on your regular Facebook list. And that's super important. A lot of people don't really understand that, but the bigger your audience, the better. So, and you know, we're going to talk about groups in just a minute of groups that you for sure need to be in. But if on our training group, it shows you exactly how to create a customer group. And so now we're here to the groups, and we can talk about that.
All right. Sorry, I went ahead and went forward.
No,
so,
go ahead.
The first groups that you want to do once someone has signed up, pretty much immediately, you want to get them added into the Plexus Ambassador Training 101 group. And there you've got 7 posts there that help them get their business started and kind of understand how things work, how to understand your back office, how to understand our compensation plan, how to understand all kinds of product information, things that will help you get your business going is what Ambassador Training 101 is for. The Rockin' Plexus Ambassadors group is Jana and Rod's group, and it's a very active group, and you can find so much information. I have to just say right now at the very beginning, one of the best tools of Facebook is the little magnifying glass. And in the Rockin' group, that is the #1 tool for anybody that's on our team. If you have someone who has a question about rheumatoid arthritis, you can type that in there and find tons and tons of information. If you want to find something about the block, you type that in there. So that Rockin' Plexus Ambassadors group, I guarantee you, if you have a question, someone else has asked it before you, and it's just so full of information. In addition to the Rockin' Plexus Ambassador group, inside there we've got the Google Docs and the training manual, which are both super helpful, and I encourage every single one of my ambassadors to, if they're not local to me, to print it out and put it in some sort of folder or binder so that they can refer to it at any time. Were you going to say something?
Nope.
Okay. And it has everything in there pretty much that you need to know to get your business up and going, and even to the point of signing up new ambassadors yourself. And the other groups you may be added to, if you are like in my group, I've got my own leader group that I would put my ambassadors in addition to the Rockin' group. And then we've got several lists of different type of testimonials groups. there's several that are big that you can get added to and find all kinds of testimonials that many ambassadors and customers have put their testimonials in. And that's where we get the information and share to our closed customer groups. And then the last thing that you'll want to get into right away is some other customer groups that belong to your teammates and your upline. You want to see how they're running their business. Pick either ask your upline or pick a few people that you think are Plexus leaders and duplicate them. Get in their groups and see how they're sharing their business and how they're being as successful as they are.
Right. And some of those groups that we like to add people to, the biggest testimonial group is the Plexus Journeys. And that group is just for ambassadors. And we post all of our testimonies in that group. It's a really good group to find before and after pictures in. And also Team Club Plexi. And then we have Queen P's testimonial group. So the Team Plexi and our Club Plexi and the Queen P's is both groups that are people on our team. So it's not going to be quite as active as Plexus Journeys, but it's really cool because all of those people are actually on our team. So I love posting those in my customer group because I can actually say this is so-and-so and they're on our team. So it kind of makes it more personal when you get them out of those groups. But Plexus Journeys is awesome too. You can, at the same time, you can use that little magnifying glass to find certain kind of testimonies in Plexus Journeys. And we love that little magnifying glass. This is a really good tool for any group that you're in to be able to search stuff. So the few customer groups that Sarah was talking about, we originally, when we first started the Rockin' Group, we encouraged everyone to be in everyone else's customer groups. We need we've kind of narrowed that down a little bit because there's so many groups. You really don't have to be in everybody's ambassador or customer groups, and they don't necessarily have to be in yours. But we do encourage that you do connect with at least 3 or 4 people and make sure you're in their group, and your upline can help you do that to connect you with other customer groups that are also on our team, and then put them in your group or other people in your group so that you can support each other. And we really do encourage support on this team, whether it's in private messages, chat groups, or whether it is in customer groups, or just friendships in general, friending other people and following successful people that you want to duplicate.
And I feel like I've made that's one of the bonuses of being with Plexus and being on our team. Going to these events, meeting people, chatting with people, being in our teams, you really form this camaraderie and friendship with a bunch of people that you would never have met otherwise than through Plexus. And that reciprocity that we give each other, like if, hey, Jana, can I share my testimonial in your group? And you respond to it, the more that you share with each other and build up that friendship, teamwork, it really goes a long way, because you can say, hey, I know Jana, and this is her testimonial. And then sometimes you can tag whoever's testimonial you're sharing, if you actually know them, and they'll come in, and maybe the customer has a question and they can help answer those questions as well.
That's right. And if you're a leader, I can't really stress enough how important it is for you to connect people in your downline with each other. And whether that is that those people are in their downlines, or if it's just that you have 3 level 1s, you need to connect those 3 level 1s with each other. And you need to form a chat group, and you need to introduce those people to each other. If you're silver and you have 3 people in your downline, all 3 of those customer groups should be connected. They should be in each other's customer groups so that they can help support each other. And as your team grows, you continue to do that, and you continue to put people and connect people. And I can honestly say that connecting of people is probably one of the main things that has helped me succeed with Plexus. Because when you connect people, they continue to be motivated to do their business because they like the friendships. They get motivated by each other. And those customer groups are really a great motivational tool to help not just your prospective customers and your customers, but also to help other ambassadors to be motivated and to see and to continue with their products because they see that. It's like, I always say, it's like an online Weight Watcher meeting where you're seeing stuff daily that motivates you to continue with your progress with health and wellness.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and pass by this slide and go to the next one, because we wanted to talk about specifically about how you start your closed customer group and how you start posting in there. And again, we are about duplication. You want anything that you do as a leader to be duplicatable by your team. So if you're sharing a testimonial, you're going to want to train your team members to share that testimonial. And that doesn't mean pushing the share button in your group and posting it into your new customer group. You want to do a couple different things to really make it personal and make sure that you are sharing things that your customers are going to see coming from you, and they can come to you with questions. You don't want to share my post into your group, because then if they click on it, it could bring them over to my group, and then they would be coming to me for questions. So you want to share these in a way that you are sharing them. And the way that we do it is if you pull up Facebook, any picture on Facebook, you can click on the picture if you're on a computer, right click it and save it down to your computer. I keep mine in a separate file. Some people save it down to their desktop. Right click the picture, save it to your computer, and then copy and paste the text of the testimonial that surrounds that picture. Then go into your group and start a new post, add the picture from the file on your computer, and then copy and paste that testimonial into the text portion of the post. Now, one of the things that's really, really important when you're posting these testimonials is you want to proofread every single one of them. First, you want to be reading these testimonials and see what you're sharing so that people can ask you questions about them. You want to see what they're sharing and put something personal at the very top of each testimonial. Say, wow, look at Amy. Look how fabulous she's doing with her Plexus Slim. Or, wow, can you imagine that it has helped Julie with her migraines? Little quips like that make it personal coming from you, because some people have different ways of talking to their customers or their friends. So that makes it a little bit personal to put something at the top of each testimonial. However, you cannot change the body of the testimonial because you are sharing that person's actual testimony, and everything beyond your little introduction has to be copy and pasted exactly the way it was there in the person's own words. When you share a person's testimonial, you also cannot link your website onto their testimonial. So you're just going to do your little introduction, their testimonial, their picture, and press post. Now, when you do ads or pictures of products, product information, those are the types of posts that you can then add your website, like www.plexusslim.com/Sarah's Pink Drink, Jana's Pink Drink, whatever your website is. Those are the things you can link your website to when you post those into your group.
Right. And a lot of people are freaked out by that. But, if you're in a customer group, your people that are seeing that, they know that you sell Plexus. So my experience has been that 99% of the people that order will ask me about it first in a private message anyway. So to put your website, for me, it's not that necessary. For one thing, it should be at the top of your group anyway. It should be on the side of your group in your pinned post, in your group description. It should be in there. But most of the people, when you're sharing a testimonial or anything that you're sharing, they know that you're a distributor for Plexus. And so they're more than likely they're going to private message you. And I'll sometimes put that, private message me for details. And then that way they know, and they're going to come to you because they're going to ask you what they should buy anyway. They want to know what the prices are. They want to know what you recommend and stuff like that. So it's okay for you to not put your website everywhere. I prefer not to do that anyway, most of the time, because I think it sounds more like a sales pitch if you put your website. I like to just say, let's chat. If you're interested, let's chat. And then it sounds more like a friend's telling a friend about something.
Right. And that's kind of goes along with what this next slide is, what you can and cannot do on the posts. There are some rules about what we are allowed to post, especially the ads and graphics. They need to be approved and compliant with Plexus compliance. And a lot of the ads and graphics have a special code that has been approved by Plexus Worldwide's compliance department in the graphic, and that should be used unless you're using things from the website. Like if you're posting about the BioCleanse, you can actually take the picture from the website without the compliance code and post the product description that way.
And there is a compliance group that has ads and graphics, and you can be added to that as well. It's called Compliant Approved, Plexus Compliant Approved Graphics. Is that what it's called? Something like that?
Ads and graphics, yes.
Yes, and that is a great place to go get stuff because everything in there already has, and it will show on there, it'll say independent ambassador, and then there'll be an approval code on there. And anything that you see like that is good to use. If you see it currently in that graphic ads group, you can use that in your group or on your page. And the reason why Plexus has that is really to protect the company. Because we want to make sure that we're not prescribing information that only a medical professional would do. We're not supposed to do that. We are distributors, and that is it. We do not provide any kind of medical benefits. We're not supposed to list any diseases. So you cannot say, do you know anybody with diabetes? Do you know anybody with fibromyalgia? You can't say that because that is what the FDA and the FCC and all the different ones are looking for when they're going through and seeing everyone's stuff. And so it's just, to prevent lawsuits and stuff like that, we have to really be careful. And so Plexus Compliance is there to help us know what we can and can't do. And so it's really good to make sure what I do is everything that I post, I make sure it has a compliant approved number on it. And then that way I know I'm safe. And there are plenty of them. You can even find them on other, on other customer groups that you're in. You can just copy them off of their post if they say that they're compliant. So with the before and after testimonies, some of these groups, if you're in a customer groups that are really good, you can just go in and take what they have. It's okay to share stuff. We're all about sharing with Plexus, and as long as you take it, and I don't know if you had it in the prior one. But at least like or comment when you're going to take somebody's stuff. Give them a little bit of encouragement and help and support on their post, and click like and say great job or wow or something like that to give them a little encouragement before you take their post. But then after that, feel free to use it.
Right. That's all about the duplication. That we all want to be able to do is anything that's on your upline probably is compliant. So if you have a question about it, message them and ask if that's a compliant post to post. And then one other thing that we should also mention is prices. We're not allowed to share prices even in our closed group for the products. We have to either have the people message you or go directly to your website to look up the prices. The only thing we are allowed to share is that to join Plexus as an ambassador, it's the $34.95 join fee, and that's the only price we're allowed to share in our groups.
We can also show the trial pack. If it has the price on the package, we can show the picture of that package. But you can't add to it, this is only $11.95 or anything like that. You just show the picture and then they can see what the price is. But that's only on the trial packs.
Right. And now can I give this tip because it's my favorite tip of all? Okay, so notifications. When you're added to all these groups, you'll see that once you're added to a group, Facebook defaults to, if you look over on the right here, the very first picture, you get that little box at the top of each group, notifications. It always puts a little check mark by notifications. And if you click on that word notifications, it drops down a little box. And underneath that box, it says to be notified of all posts, highlighted posts, friends posts, no posts. So it's important to keep notifications on, most importantly, in your customer group, because anytime someone tries to contact you, you want to make sure that if they post something in your group, that you get that notification so that you're able to go in there and answer them. I would also keep notifications on in your uplines training group, ambassador group, so that you get all important announcements. We try to, at least our group, we try to pass down anything that Jana's posted in the Rockin' group for training calls and things like that. We always put that in our groups as well, so that you're getting notifications in both groups. But we want to make sure that you get all the information that you need. And then in the Rockin' group, it is a very, very busy group. It's a fabulous group. So much information is available in there, and everyone welcomes everybody there and is so supportive. There are a lot of notifications in there. So I would keep them on until you've kind of gotten a feel for how many notifications you get by per day from the Rockin' group, and then go on and adjust your settings accordingly, whether you just want the highlights, the important posts, or all the posts.
I will also add to that, and I know you do this as well, but you probably just didn't think of it because you're thinking of when you're a brand new ambassador, but also keep notifications on for any of your level ones, right, for their customer groups especially. For my level ones, I keep on notifications on their personal wall as well as their customer groups, because I want to make sure that I'm supporting them as much as possible. You can also create a favorites list on the right hand or the left hand side of your screen on your computer. You can create a favorites list for groups, and so you can have in there your level ones, you can have in there your leader groups. Even if you have notifications off, it'll still show you how many posts have been in there since the last time you checked, and that's a great way to do it. If you are in a group that gets a lot of notifications, if you put it over into your favorites, you'll be able to see, oh, hey, there's been 13 notifications since I checked the group last. And in that favorites, you should have your level ones. You should have the Rockin' group if your leader has an ambassador group, and then also obviously your own customer group, and any other favorite customer groups and you can leave the notifications on even for Plexus Journeys or Club Plexi if you want to get a notification if a new person posts their testimony as well. And so I will say that I have my notifications on for, of course, the Rockin' group, for the Training 101, for all of my level ones, for all of their personal walls, a lot of customer groups, in a lot of groups that I'm in, and I'm okay with it. I want to see all that stuff, so it's not overwhelming to me. But it's very easy to check. If you do turn notifications off, be sure and check through and read down in the Rockin' group. And also, if you do turn your notifications off, for sure use your search magnifying glass to search for stuff, because there's so many times where somebody will have just asked that question like 10 minutes ago, and then somebody asked the question again. And had they looked in the magnifying glass, they would have found it with the answers, and then they would have never had to ask that question. So that's a super important tip. Absolutely.
And then we kind of went over some of these training tools about when you're added into these groups. The ambassador training, when you go in there, there's 7 posts to read. We went over that in the very first when we started this. And the Rockin' Plexus Ambassador, we also went over that your upline's going to welcome you in that group. And you're also going to want to print out the Ambassador Training Manual and bookmark your computer for the Google Docs, where you can have a huge resource of all kinds of training videos, documents. There's even going to be a Ambassador Toolbox Training 101 link in the Google Docs that you can print out everything that you need to get your business started.
And it's a great way to train somebody. If you're new and you've got people signed up under you and you need to train them, you can show them videos like this. You can take them to the Training 101 and just expand on the 7 posts. The 7 posts is exactly what I wanted people to know when they first signed up. It's all the stuff that you need to just get a really fast start without having to read a big, huge manual. You read 7 posts. If you read those posts thoroughly, it answers a lot of the questions that people have when they first start. So we highly recommend that you read those 7 posts, and then when you sign people up, that you ask them to read the 7 posts.
And then how to be successful in your Plexus business. I'll start the product consistency. You need to be a product of the product. Stay consistent with your Plexus products. Drink your water. You want to be able to share how things make you feel, how you've been successful with the products, and you can reach out to your customers and your teammates how to help them take their products. So I think that's the number one key to be successful with Plexus. You need to be the product of the product.
For sure. For sure. If you quit the products, there's no way you can be successful. So that's the one thing you have to commit to when becoming an ambassador, that you have to be consistent about taking your products every day. Then you have on here posting 2 to 3 times a day. That's the thing that I have found, is that consistency in different areas of your business is the key to being successful at Plexus. I know people that put 10 minutes a day into their business, and there's people that work at full time. That's the thing with Plexus, is that you have to be consistent. You have to take your products successfully every day, and then you have to share every day. And you cannot expect to be successful if you post and then you don't post again for 2 or 3 weeks. Right. It's, that's a sure way to fail. And I've seen so many people fizzle out when they do that. And it's like, it's like opening up a store. You have to have the store open. You can't close the store for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and then expect for people to come back, because they're going to expect the store to be closed. So you have to be consistent about sharing. And we always say in Plexus that you can work your business part-time, but you can't work it sometime. And it's so individualized. Like we said at the beginning, everybody has different goals for what they want. And so they're going to put different amounts of time into it. But not being consistent with sharing is just, you have to be consistent. You have to be, even if it's just one post a day, even if it's 2 posts a day, and maybe you miss a day here and there, but you cannot just come back, 3 weeks later, I forgot to post for the last 3 weeks. That's not going to get you anywhere. You have to be consistent, and you have to commit to sharing. And, once you take your pink, I will say that people that you're trying to reach are people that are in your circle. People want to buy health and wellness products from people that they know and trust. They do not want to buy it from GNC, otherwise they would be at GNC. They want to buy the products from somebody that they know. So the most important thing you can do is share what you're feeling from the products. It's wonderful to post before and after testimonies. People love those. But what's more important is for you to share. So even if it's a picture of you with your pink drink, or if you're just saying, hey, I've got so much energy today because I took my pink drink, or I have my X Factor with my pink drink and I love the energy, that's what's going to draw people in more than anything else, because they know you, they trust you because they're friends with you, and that's what they want to hear. That is super important to realize and really let that sink in, that what you're feeling is what people want to hear more than anything else.
I agree. And every time that I have posted a personal testimonial, I get huge business booms every time I share something personal about myself. So I can share 100 testimonials from other people and maybe get 1 or 2 trickling in, customers. And as soon as I share my own personal story, all of a sudden I've got, 4 or 5 messages in my inbox, within an hour. And it's a good tool. Yeah. And it's also important to every once in a while share on your personal wall. Like Jana said, drinking your pink drink. I feel fabulous today. I'm out running around errands and I'm got so much energy to get all my Christmas shopping done.
Right. People are drawn to passion. And if you have passion for what you're saying, people are attracted to that. So it's the passionate people that get the most customers, because people want fun, they want positivity, and they want passion. And if you can exude that in your customer group and on your regular wall, people will be attracted to you. You don't even have to sell. All you have to do is share. But if you do it with passion, people come to that. They want that. And so you have on here being passionate and positive. So important to not have drama on your Facebook. It's so important to be positive and passionate, because that's what people want. They want to come join the fun. They want to come join the fun Plexus party, which is what we have. We have a great group. It's like a big family. And when people get in, they're like, oh, I wish I would have joined sooner. So we need to show that to them outside of Plexus. We need to show them what it's all about, how much fun it is.
And it is fun, especially when you come to events. That's one of the next things coming up, a couple down on the list. One of the best things about Plexus, like I said earlier, is the friends, the teammates that you meet. The training calls, I know this one's recorded, but occasionally we have the ones through the Any meeting, and those are a lot of fun because you can chat with your teammates, during the call and ask questions, and it's very interactive. Another thing is to get your local group together. If there isn't a local group, reach out. In the Rockin' Group, Rod has even created a document of ambassadors listed by area code, and you can hopefully find, some ambassadors in your area and contact them and get together and try to create some local get-togethers, whether you have a pink drink party or an opportunity party or just a team building party, get together, whatever you prefer. You start to build those connections, and connection is really what this is all about in the social media and Plexus. It's building your network of friends and connections.
And the local things, they don't have to be on your team. They can be other Plexus teams. With Plexus, everyone is welcome to the meetings that we do locally, and everyone's usually really happy to be around other Plexus ambassadors. So the other way you can do is you can go in your back office and you can look at the events page, and a lot of the events locally, I think you can even do a search for your own city, and you can find things that are posted in there of people that are doing things in your local area and go to those things.
And then, of course, you can't leave out the big Plexus Worldwide events because they are phenomenal. You're brand new if you're watching this video, and you probably have no idea what to expect at events like this, but Plexus treats us like royalty and really pull out the red carpet for us. They are amazing. You come out of those types of meetings so energized, so excited, so passionate about Plexus and about all these new people that you've met and all the things that are anticipated coming down the road. And it really builds your passion. And you bring that back to your group, and people notice. I mean, they'll see that you have been energized by going to these events. And I got to meet Jana at convention this past June down in Dallas. Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say Houston, Dallas. And she knew who I was. Couldn't believe it. I walked up to her and she's like, "Hey, Sassy Sarah." And I'm like,
it is so fun. It really is fun. And once you go to one of these things, you're going to want to keep going because you have so much fun and you get to talk to people that you've only met online. And it is really a cool thing. And like Sarah said, you learn so much. They have so much product training and they have so much business training that you come away with so much more than you even thought was possible. So definitely try to go to as many Plexus events as you can. The convention's in June, but there's also opportunity meetings held all over the United States, and we always post those. You can also find those in your emails from Plexus, and also I believe on the website there's places. It's probably in the events part where you can find the events, but those are really important. I agree.
And that's the last thing on this list, even though we've missed a couple up above, is staying plugged into those leader groups. That's by being interactive, supporting each other, reading those posts. Those people that stay plugged in to those groups and to coming to these meetings are the ones who are having successful Plexus businesses. So when you do that, if you set yourself up right there in the beginning, get yourself in there, introduce yourself, ask some questions, welcome people into the group. Even though you're brand new, you'll want to welcome, the other new people as well. And people will start recognizing your name as someone who's exciting and excited for them. And you're going to be one of the next leaders.
Mm-hmm. Very true. And so, if you think about everything with Plexus, it all comes down to being consistent. And to be successful, you have to be consistent about sharing. You have to be consistent about taking your products. You have to be consistent about education, learning constantly about products and about the business. You have to be consistent with expanding your circle, always making new friends, adding friends to your Facebook group and then putting them in your customer group, but also going out and making new friends and joining groups, whether it's yoga or PTA or different things that you can get out into your community and meet people and Facebook friend them. Sarah has on here, following up, super important. All these things that, you know, even if we didn't talk about it, if it's on this list, it is super important, and you should be doing that. Follow up. If you give somebody a sample of the pink drink, make sure you get their information so that you can follow up with them and say, hey, how did you like the taste of your pink drink? Most people love it. It's a great time for you to put them into your customer group and say, hey, look at all the pictures that we have and the great information that we have on our products. Knowing your products is super important. Try new products all the time so that when you are posting about stuff, you know what you're talking about. You know what the products have done for you. I always suggest trying a new product each month. If that's all you can afford to do at first, is trying a new product each month, so that you'll know what it's doing, because you've already been on the Slim. So next month, let's add the X Factor, and let's see what the X Factor does for my energy. The next month, I'm going to add the Pro Bio. Let's see what the Pro Bio does for my sugar cravings. Let's see what the Bio Cleanse does. Let's do each thing so that you can have a testimony on what the products have done for you. So that's super important. Is that your last slide?
Yes.
Okay. So I loved your slideshow. It will be available for anybody to use. This would be a perfect slideshow to use when you're training people, so that it covers almost everything. That the Training 101 covers everything with the 7 posts, but this is also a great slideshow if you're doing an in-person training, or you want to do an online training with somebody and you want to go through a slideshow, and it helps you, think of things that you can say that's going to help people get their business started right away. So we're going to have this available for you as well as this video. So we encourage that you tag everyone in this video, whether they are brand new or whether there's somebody that has been with the company for a while and they may need this information to help train new people. The more training you get, the more excited you get about what can be done with this company. Thank you, Sarah, so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I really appreciate the time that you've taken and the knowledge that you shared. I didn't even say that you're a Senior Gold Ambassador, which is you have a huge team, and you are almost to Ruby.
Almost to Ruby. And
hopefully that'll happen really soon. And climbing on up the ladder, and you do this full time. So I do. This is, this is valuable knowledge here. And if you can duplicate people that are successful like Sarah, you will succeed with this business. You just have to apply the right tools, whether you're doing it part-time or full-time. We are here to help you succeed. So we will hope to have some more interviews like this with some other leaders. And I don't know if the slideshow will be as fabulous as this one, but we can only hope. But, thank you so much, Sarah. We will see you on the Rocking Group, and we really appreciate your time. Thank you for everyone watching the call, and we will post this as soon as possible, and you guys can start tagging your people in it. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Bye, Sarah.
Bye,
everybody.